So boxing fans are pushing a narrative that once a trainer wins Trainer of the Year, a year later, their fighter loses. They said it happened to Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso, Earl Spence and Derek James, and now they believe it's going to happen to Bo Mack and Terence Crawford. This is the new narrative in the sport of boxing, and it never ceases to amaze me. It is what it is. People are going to believe what they want to believe. But my question to that narrative is, when those guys lost in those fights, were they in there with guys that were better than them? Or was they in there in a fight that was an upset? Let's start off with Canelo. Canelo versus Bivol. Was that fight really an upset? Was Canelo really upset it? Or was he in there against a much technical, better sound fighter in Bivol? And we just thought Canelo was the better fighter, but Bivol was better technical, and he was able to outbox Canelo Alvarez. Now Earl Spence and Jermell Charlo with Derek James winning Trainer of the Year. Crawford is a much better fighter than Earl Spence. We all knew that. Earl Spence loses to Terence Crawford. Jermell Charlo loses to Canelo Alvarez. So I really don't see what these guys are talking about when they say curse. So who is Terence Crawford going to face that's better than him on paper? Because majority of the guys that I mentioned that lost, their opposition was just better than them. Crawford was better than Spence. Canelo was better than Charlo. Bivol was better than Canelo. So I don't get what these guys are trying to say. Crawford's about to fight Madrimov. Some people are saying the curse is going to happen to him with Madrimov. So are you saying Madrimov is a better fighter than Terence Crawford? Is that what you boxing fans are saying? That Madrimov is a better fighter than Terence Crawford? So Crawford's gonna lose because his trainer won Trainer of the Year is a curse. That's interesting. You know, I'm not buying into the nonsense. I literally just tore apart that conspiracy, or whatever you guys want to call it. Because when we really look at it, when those fighters lost, after their trainer became Trainer of the Year, they didn't just lose to anybody. They lost to a better fighter. Now, who is Terence Crawford getting in the ring with that's going to be a better fighter than him? I mean, he's the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. There's not too many people in the world that you could put against Terence Crawford that you could favorite that person over Bud. So when those guys lost, except maybe for Canelo, that was the only upset. Earl Smith losing to Terence Crawford wasn't an upset. Jermell Charlo losing to Canelo Alvarez wasn't an upset. So I have no idea what these guys are talking about. I'm trying to see what they're talking about. I'm trying to put the pieces together, but it's not really lining up. It's not really adding up. It's just not making sense. You know, it's just another narrative being pushed to slander Bud Crawford. But we'll see. Me personally, I got Crawford retiring undefeated. I don't think there's anybody from 160 down that can compete with Terence Crawford. His only competition for real would be maybe at 160 Lara a little bit, and if not Lara, then a little bit of Adames, but he already punched on Adames when he was at 140 in sparring. Maybe a little bit of Adames, or what's the dude they try to compare to GGG? What's his name? Damn, I forget his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. There's another guy they try to compare. He's from the same city as GGG. They try to compare him to GGG. I forget his name though. But maybe he can give Crawford some problems. And then 168, there's some solid fighters there. But majority of the solid fighters at 168 is moving up. Like the David Morrells of the world. Now David Morrell it's a nightmare. He will be a nightmare for Bud. I'm not even going to sit here and cat. David Morrell will be a nightmare for Bud. David Morrell, David Benavidez, those guys can give Bud a problem. Other than that, I don't see too many people we can say will be a better fighter versus Crawford fight night for this curse to be active. Or are you guys saying it will be an upset and Madrimov can upset Crawford? I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So somebody fill me in the comment section. Let me know what these guys are talking about when they talk about Trainer of the Year curse. Because when I do my analysis and breakdown of these Trainer of the Year and their fighter losing, majority of the time their fighter lost to the better fighter. So right now we know Crawford is the best fighter in the sport, so who will he lose to that's a better fighter than him? We don't know that, because I don't believe there's any fighter in the sport of boxing right now that's better than Bud Crawford. Anyway, it's your boy No Credit, and I'm out. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like these.